A U.S. Olympic gymnastics is the latest person to test positive after officials reported at least 10 new cases connected to the games, including the first cases in the Olympic Village. Lucy Kraft has more from Tokyo, including the latest on a U.S. tennis star.
The hopes of tennis star Coco Gauff were dashed Sunday after the 17-year-old sensation announced she had tested positive for COVID, ending her chances of competing in Japan this summer.
At this time, unfortunately, we don't have much more information.
The news apparently caught tennis officials by surprise. This comes on top of USA Basketball losing point guard Bradley Beal last week after he was placed in COVID health and safety protocols. As more Olympic teams descended on the Japanese capital over the weekend, 2 South African soccer players tested positive for COVID, the first cases of athlete infections at the Olympic Village. The South African Football Association said the whole team is now under quarantine, with their first match just 3 days away. They will only be allowed to compete if they test negative 6 hours before the match. While Olympics officials say there is zero chance the games will end up triggering a super spreader event, many residents here aren't buying it. 2 separate news polls over the weekend found an overwhelming majority of residents are skeptical that the games can be held safely. Local opposition to the games isn't the only challenge this week. A major sponsor, Toyota, has pulled its Olympics advertising from Japanese TV and said its president won't attend the opening ceremony, a sign of concern over being associated with these trouble-plagued games. Lucy Kraft, CBS News, Tokyo.
Organizers identified 21 close contacts to the African soccer players and an analyst who tested positive. Most of the close contacts are athletes. Well, still ahead at noon, the Mr. Food Test Kitchen has a roast that's juicy, packed with flavor, and tastes just as good just the next day. We'll be back in 2 minutes.